Lesbians, happy Thursday.
Hey y'all. So today we are back with another one. We are back on the green couch, ready to talk about moving in.
Talking about U-hauling. Are we U-haul lesbians? And I gotta pause because we've been doing this Vlogmas thing. We ain't never ever posted this many videos back to back.
There's a lot of videos.
Right, but we having fun, we just gotta get ahead a day or two. We gotta figure out a way how to do that.
So we're gonna talk about our moving in story and when it's right to move in with your boo.
So my memory is a little blurry with our initial move-in situation. So I'm gonna trust J Mills and her story.
So we met, as you guys know, as some of you know, in 2011. We met probably November of that year. So by 2012 of the following year, that summer, we had moved in together. I was at the time living with my mom. I had just graduated from school, and I was also looking to purchase a home. And I was like, I was like 22 at the time, right? So I believe I had already had a key to your place, and she invited me to move in. Like, okay, well, why don't you just grab some more clothes from your mom's house? Is what she said. When you said that to me, like why am I bringing clothes here just to have an extended sleepover?
Well, the distance between where her mom lived and I lived was a good 45 minutes. So I could have essentially just said, instead of you going back and forth, like you hear days, but whatever. I had no problems with her moving in at the time.
Then there was a cable bill that was discussed. So why are we even talking about bills if we're not living together?
So somewhere down the line, she moved out.
Well, so just to circle back, just to backtrack a little bit, this was your first apartment on your own.
Right, yeah. So I had tons of roommates or whatever. Well, not tons, maybe like 2, 3 of roommates or whatever. So I just wanted to get a place just to say, I'm standing on my own 2 feet, by myself. So I guess that only lasted like a couple of months.
2 days. So, I move in, and again, at the time I was actually looking to purchase a home, but it was just really hard. So my budget at the time was like $800,000, which was really good because it was like in Atlanta after. $800,000. $80,000. Woo, what I'm thinking about.
I don't know.
That number just popped in my head. I wonder why.
Next home budget. Go ahead.
Yes. Okay, so it was just really hard to purchase a home, and I was kind of doing it by myself, right? So she then started throwing hints like, don't you miss your mom? And you only got it. I'm a Leo. You don't have to run me too many out. So I ended up actually getting the cutest apartment in Kennesaw.
I helped you find that apartment.
I think you asked someone who lived there.
Right.
And so it was the cutest apartment. It really felt like a little home, and I felt comfortable there living by myself. It was in Kennesaw off of Busby, but off of Giles. Not Giles. I think it was off Busby. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I ended up living there for about a year by myself.
And then after that, after she moved in, I think it was just the point of now, we were taking turns on whose house we were going to stay at. Her house was closer to our job, so most of the time during the week I would just either be there or drop the dog off before work.
Miss, do you miss your mom?
Keep my dog at her house,
for weeks at a time.
So I would just end up just staying there and just going home every now and then. Because I think Priya was just with me at your house. I didn't leave her home, did I?
No, you rarely left her.
Yeah, Priya just kind of moved in as well. I think she was there more than I was.
Correct. And then I ended up getting a dog. So it was just a lot. So then, of course, we experienced breakup to makeup and all the drama with that. So we'll save some of those stories for another time.
So pencil in the story time.
Of what?
When someone washed your laundry, my drawers at your house.
Anyway, at the time that you ran someone out my home.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, at a place I was paying bills. Okay. So anyway, by September of 2013, this one asked me to be her girlfriend. So
that was in your apartment, at your stove.
I was cooking. Mm-hmm. And she was just kind of like, so do you want to be my girlfriend? And I was like, okay, cool. Now inside I was like, I messed up my butt. Okay, so like on
He was passionate about that girl.
I know. On the inside I was like, finally got him. No, so it was
Got
just. But on the outside I was just like, cause you know I'm a Leo. I'm not gonna play my card. I'm not gonna show my hand. No. So I was just like, yeah, cool. What's up? Yeah, all right. So then maybe probably like a month later, I remember you being like, this feels so different. Like you're just real chill versus before you were like nagging me all the time. And I wanted to say, yeah, because your ass was out in the street. So that's why I was not. But I didn't say that.
So then from there, it was like no point of us paying 2 different rents. So my apartment was like off Windy Hill, like prime location. So we just
perfect location.
So we was like, let's just move there, but get a 2-bedroom. So it ended up working out. Like I was able to transfer my lease, and we got a 2-bedroom, 2-bath, and we actually hated that apartment.
No, we did. We hated it from the moment we moved.
Like I think it was just gross. It was just
not a good apartment.
It was not a good
well,
apartment.
you know what with apartments is when you look at their apartment, what is it called?
The model.
When you look at their model apartment, you walk in and it could be facing east. Like it could be a different layout than the actual one you move in. So the one we moved in, we walked into it, we were like, this is vaulted ceilings. Like this is, you know.
It was like dated, like for real. So I think we stayed there for a year.
But just to backtrack, so us moving in, it wasn't like, oh, I love you and I want to be with you all the time, because we kind of were together a lot. I think the only thing she didn't like about my apartment was my couch.
Our couch was little. It was like smaller than this couch that we're sitting on right now.
I won't even go into the story behind why I bought that particular couch or anything. But
we got 16 more days of Vlogmas. Save your stories, girl.
I'm saving all my stories for y'all. Y'all comment below. If you hear something you want to hear, we'll dive into it more. Anyway, so she hated that couch. So that was the main reason why she liked to be at her house. But yet she would always be at my apartment. So it was more of a financially, it just didn't make sense for her to pay, like, what were you paying over there?
Like 7 something.
Yeah, and I was paying 7 something at mine. It just didn't make sense. And I remember my mom gave me the best advice, because I was like, Ma, you know, me and this girl, we've been back and forth for a year and a half, and then we've only been official for maybe like 2 months. And my mom, I remember her just saying, like, Jamilla, you can always come home. And then that made me feel good, because it's like, if she's okay with my decision, then like, I'm going to be okay. So I remember I had already signed to renew it. I canceled renewing it. In the month of December, I wasn't even at that apartment. I had already moved into your 1-bedroom, waiting on to get to the 2-bedroom.
So we got the 2-bedroom, and we bought like new furniture and stuff. I think we just kept your bed. We bought a new couch.
We bought a new couch, yeah.
And then the bed I had, we just put in our guest bedroom. So from there, like, that living arrangement worked. Like, there was no back and forth or anything.
No, because we'd always said, God forbid, if anything happens, we have a 2-bedroom, so you would go into the other room. But she used the guest bathroom, and then I had the main bathroom all on my own. So we've kind of always had 2 separate rooms. Like, the master bedroom is always, like, my room, but we share it. And then Sequina always has her own room somewhere else.
Like a little bay cave. Like,
and that's always worked.
Just so I can have, like, my PlayStation stuff that I don't play.
Yeah, she's never, like, even in her office now, she's rarely in it if she's not working.
And that's due to me work from home. But anyway. And then I like to have space for my clothes and shoes. I don't like to necessarily share a closet if I don't have to.
That's the main reason, is the clothes and shoes. Okay, sorry.
And then, so from there, like I said, there was no issues when we decided to move into the 2-bedroom together. And then from there, we were like, okay, now we're like getting ready. We got engaged while we were in the apartment. And I'm like, okay, excuse me, we're running out of space. Like, let's do something different. Like, the goal was to buy a home. So we end up, like, I think one day I was at work and I was just on Zillow, because we were like looking for different apartments. We were looking for just options. And then I came across this bomb neighborhood in Kennesaw that had the townhouses. If you guys are familiar, it's like right in the back where the Toys R Us used to be and where the Home Depot. It's a gated community. It was so dope. So we end up renting renting the townhome there from a landlord, and we stayed there for a year. And then right when we got married there, and then right when we renewed the lease, we were like, let's just buy a home.
Because I had been wanting, if y'all remember, I had been wanting to purchase a home. So even this townhome she wanted was like my dream town. I always wanted like a 3-story brick townhome. This was a 2-story, but it was just in a good location. It was hard to move back to Kennesaw, but because at the time I worked in Kennesaw, but then I ended up
working downtown.
So I was driving from Atlanta to downtown.
And then it was like
Kennesaw to downtown.
It was a 1-car garage, so we were like hating having to move vehicles every day and then the visitor parking. So we end up putting, one of our friends lived in Atlanta, so she was like, they're building townhomes like in my subdivision. So we went and looked, and it was like a 3-story townhome, and it hit everything. Like,
it was perfect.
Like, yo guys, if you haven't seen it, go to our 3-story townhome tour.
Now, when she first showed me, I hated it. And then I always, with our friend, like when we would go to her house for like events, I would always be like, this is just like out the way, this is far. And it's not that it was far, it was out the way, it just wasn't, I wasn't familiar with the area. So this was like South Fulton. But when we actually went to go see the home in person, we had to circle back. We were like, oh, let's go back and go look at it. And it was just, it was perfect it was everything that what we needed. And then it was literally 20 minutes downtown. Yeah,
I think for me what was like the deal breaker was the guest bedroom on the 3rd floor. Like, it definitely, we had in that house, I think we've had more guests than we've ever had in our home. Like, that was like a revolving door when we moved in there.
Yeah.
So
I think we had a lot of guests. I feel like we just always have a lot of guests, but especially in that home.
In that time, it was easy to have guests, like, you know,
on the bottom level.
I mean, Steven stayed with us for a whole 6 weeks.
Yeah, he did.
So it was like, it was easy for people to just stay there and not feel like on top of each other. So then from there, we ran out of space.
Right. So from then, in that home, we ended up having Harper.
Right.
We stayed in that home for 3 years. And I think the neighborhood just had what I call a lot of traction. That was never the dream location. It was a good location because I always like to be downtown.
In like 20 minutes, you're there.
Like, really, like, I would just hop on Langford and be in downtown and no problem.
It's like everywhere we went was like 20 minutes.
Yeah, it was just a good location. But it wasn't, as far as like the neighborhood, it was a cute neighborhood, it had a good neighborhood feel, but it didn't give, it wasn't everything that we wanted.
The school, we didn't like the school zone. It was just things like we didn't feel comfortable doing. So
but if you were in Atlanta and you want to make some money real quick, in like 5 years, do purchase a home in South Fulton. In 5 years, you will definitely see a return on your investment, like we did in 3 years.
So, so when we had made the decision, so we ended up making the decision that we needed to find a neighborhood or part of Atlanta or metro area that our kids could go to school.
Right.
And that's when we started looking for homes. And then not only were we looking for homes that had good school districts and, you know, good areas that we love, we wanted to find what we could call a forever home.
And I think that search took more than 6 months.
Oh yeah, that almost took it.
I was about to say a year.
No, so it happened that summer.
Is when we said we wanted to start.
We started in July, and then we didn't put an offer until February.
Okay, because we had stopped for a little bit, and then we started back.
Yeah. Because that was like the hardest time. Like any other home or apartment we have just kind of fell in our lap. But finding our forever home, I think we were more picky. We knew what we wanted. It just took a while. And honestly, the neighborhood we moved in, I had already like put this neighborhood in the atmosphere, and we just bypassed it because we thought we couldn't afford it.
So yeah, so really it was like a budget thing, because like budget, if you give me an unlimited budget, I can find you a home ASAP. But this time we were going to be super picky about the actual neighborhood and the actual city we moved into, because we knew this was going to be the city that our kids will ultimately go to daycare, go to school, and we wanted that whole like elementary, middle, high school. Everything. So it was a little bit pickier. So this neighborhood I found, and it was like a total random day. It was one of those days that I was just like, I'm off, I just want to be out. And so I don't think you were in a good mood that day, but I called you and I was like, I'm about to go see this house I'm really into. And she was like, well, is it in budget? And I said, I think it's doable. Is what I said, because the plan was always to get into a home and refinance. So I said, I think it's doable, and then we could always refi in a year.
Right.
So she's like, well, I want to go. I'm like, oh, okay. So then it started raining, so then I'm thinking like, dang, I still want to go, and she's not going to want to go. But for some reason, she was about it. She was like, okay, let's go. So we go see a house in the rain. She's walking through the model home, and Sequina's like, you have to buy me this home.
Right.
Never had said that before.
It was like the dream home. The neighborhood was everything. Cause like ultimately for me, like I want to pay this house off so this could be like the house like that we could pass down to our kids. Like,
Yeah.
I know Jamilla and I won't grow old in this house because we ultimately want a condo in the city with a coffee shop at the bottom and a little concierge. You know, we want to live like that when we're older, and not enough room for the kids to move back. So, you know, I think it all worked out, and I still love this home. I love the neighborhood. Like,
Absolutely.
I'm happy. But, I mean, to answer the original question, are we Uhaul lesbians? We are.
Yes.
We are. But this was our journey. So, like, don't get caught up in, like, trying to, like, move in too fast, what's too fast or what's not too fast, because you just never know what your path is going to take you.
And also, if I get the question a lot, like, how do you know that it's the right person, or how do you know when to move in? Like, what's the timing? And I don't think it's a time. Like, just like you're saying, like, it's not like 6 months, it's not 2 months. You really just have to, like, trust your instinct.
Yep.
And you have to always gauge, because love is cute, right? Love is kind, love is patient, love is cute.
They ain't saying nothing about love is cute, but go ahead, girl.
That's the remix. That's the New Testament Junior.
Oh,
anyway, so, like, are you being respected? Are you in a situation where you are being respected? Because respect will outlast love, like that kind of puppy love in the beginning, anytime. So, with us, it got to a point where I was being respected.
You weren't before? Story, another story, pinpoint that.
So, and then I always tell people, like, I had a flash, like, I had a vision, like That's So Raven, where I saw us together sitting on a porch. And I've never, like, been to, I'm a Southern girl, but front porches, I never just thought about for some reason. But now I'm, like, totally into them. Anyway, I saw them on a front porch, us on a front porch watching our grandchildren. After that, to me, when I had that vision, I was just like, you know, everything will fall into place. I'm not going to rush anything. I'm not going to push anything. So just like you said, for us to just kind of have the discussion about finances and both be on the same page about moving in together initially. Okay, cool. And then again, be on the same, it took us a long time to get on the same page about purchasing a home, but the timing, like when you have a discussion with someone and it's like, okay, you maybe argue with it about it, but then when you come back to it again and you're on the same page, things just kind of fall into place for us.
Yep. So, like I said, just do it. Do what works for you.
Just move in?
Whatever.
Okay, so how do you know when to move? So, I said how I knew. How did you know?
No, I agree. You just go with the flow. If it just feels natural, if you feel like you guys are agreeing financially and everything, just do it.
Because you told me that the next person you call your girlfriend was the person that you were going to marry. So how did you know we were going to move in together?
That's a whole nother thing.
No, just to move in.
I just felt it. Like, I just felt like things were aligning. We were on the same page as far as the budget. We were both saying, like, okay, we wanted to get married one day. Everything aligned. Like, our goals had started to align.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's what it is. It's like making sure you're in a situation where you can be, where you're respected, making sure you have your own finances just in case something funny happens, and making sure that your goals align.
And y'all, we got that porch now, so I guess her vision was like, this one.
And I haven't had a vision since. I need some more.
Well, go ahead and drop your comments below if you have any other story times you want us to do. Like I said, I think we got like 16 days or something to Christmas maybe. So we got a couple more videos we need to put out. So let us know.
All right, guys.
Later.
Bye.